Hello, hello, hello. Happy Wisdom and Wealth Wednesday, y'all. Happy Wisdom and Wealth Wednesday. We are back again, as you know. And if you don't know who I am, I'm Lanisha Marie, aka the Fly Coach. That stands for Fulfilling Living Year Round. It is our goal and our intention to thrive in every area of life, that spiritually, mentally, physically, financially, and professionally. But what is Wisdom and Wealth Wednesday? If you are new here, Wisdom and Wealth Wednesday was designed, and it just came from the fact that, number one, we need wisdom and discernment in order to create wealth. We have to be able to use wisdom in order to see and seize opportunities that are in front of us that can create wealth, or to be able to tap in the gold mine, which is what I do and what I coach on, that can create wealth. But not only do you need wisdom in order to create wealth, you need wisdom to maintain and sustain it for future generations. And so that's where Wisdom and Wealth Wednesday comes from. So if you can hear me and if you are tuned in, go do me a favor, go ahead and send a hey, send a wave, say something so that I know that you're here. And if you're catching the replay, go ahead and put hashtag replay. Okay. But again, who am I? I'm Lanisha Marie, and I am the Fly Coach. I help women monetize their overlooked skills to create purpose-driven income streams outside the 9 to 5. I have so many conversations with women that are sitting on their gifts. They are sitting on their talents. They are sitting on their dreams, the literal things that God has given them that can change not only their lives, their families' lives, but the individuals that are waiting for them to show up. Hey, girl, I see you. Hello, hello, hello. It's Wisdom and Wealth Wednesday, and I promise, even though I say this each and every week, I'm not going to be on here that long. I promise y'all. I promise. Just stick with me, okay? Because today we're talking about scared money don't make no money. And I know for all my teachers, my educators, that the grammar is incorrect. I know this. But the point is that it is a very common phrase that I've known since I've been growing up, that scared money don't make no money. But so many individuals still refuse to move. So this message, hey, hello, hello, hello. So this message is for the woman that knows that she's built for more, but fear just keeps creeping up, okay, in the form of hesitation, delay, or playing small, okay? So that's what we're talking about on today's Wisdom and Wealth Wednesday. So let me ask y'all a quick question. How many of you have ever said this, or how many of you know this, but you still are moving scared? And let's talk about what it means. This is not about moving recklessly, because if you know me, or if you've been sticking with me for any length of time, you know that I am all about purpose and intention. We don't do things just to do things. Like, one of the most common conversations that I have in these online streets is with individuals that are seeking ways to make money. And my first question is, my first statement is that there's so many different ways to make money, but if it's not aligned with you, if it has nothing to do with what you should be doing, then it's not anything that should get your time or your attention, because it's a distraction. And so I'm all about moving intentionally and moving with purpose, and not just doing things just to do things, and definitely not doing things recklessly or that could have negative consequences. So this is not about that. But this is about the individuals that know in their heart that they are built for more, that should be doing more. And some individuals actually already know. So I typically work with two different individuals. One individual that is just lost and needs clarity and is like, Lanisha, I have no idea. Those individuals that need to do a little bit more self-reflection, more work, where I take them from A to Z. No, we're digging deep and we're doing the work, but we're finding your gold mine. Okay. But some individuals are just frustrated because they know what they should be doing, but they're not giving the time, attention, or energy to pour into the thing that God created for them to do, or that God gave them to do. And so those are the other types of individuals that I work with a lot too. So, but at the end of the day, let's talk about how and what is it costing you by not moving forward? Because I'm all about freedom, finances, and fulfillment. And I say it a different way. I'm really about income, impact, and fulfillment. Okay. Doing the things that you know that you're supposed to do to create income and wealth, that is going to help serve someone else and make a greater impact in your family, in your community. And by living intentionally and living on purpose, is going to lead to a life of fulfillment. Okay. All right. So let's talk real fast before I hop out of here. Hey, Tia. So before I hop off here, let's just talk about some of the hidden costs that are associated with not moving forward. Because remember, the theme for today is scared money don't make no money. So let's talk about the cost of delay. Okay. The question that I want to ask you is, how much money have you missed out on this year by waiting? How much money have you missed out on by not doing what you said you were going to do a year ago, or something that you said you were going to start doing in January and you didn't start? It's July. We're halfway through the year already, and you're not working on the thing that's in your heart to do. Or you could be working on it, but you're only working on it one time a month. Okay. We're not working on it consistently. We're not giving our, like I said, our time and energy and our attention to the things that we should be focused on. And a phrase that my dad always says is, when you're not focused on what you should, or when you're focused on what you shouldn't, then you're not focused on what you should, right? So that's why we talk about the destiny thieves, the things that delay us and distract us from moving forward and reaching our destiny. So one of the costs is, how much did you miss out on by not being in position and not doing what you're supposed to be doing? And this could show up in phrases like, I'm not ready yet. I just need more time. Let me pray on it again. You're praying on something that you already prayed on. And when God sent you the answer, you don't see it as the answer. You see it as, oh my gosh, now I got to pray again. And so it's like, we can't keep praying for God to send us the answer, and then he sent us the answer, and now we don't see it. So maybe the prayer should be, God, open my eyes so that I see what you're putting before me, right? Because of course, every good opportunity is not a God opportunity, but we want to move with intention. But so many people tell me, oh, Lanisha, I got to pray before I move forward. Trust and believe. I'm going to pray too. But if I know it's something that I've already prayed on and it's the answer, then I'm going to take a step forward. We need to, at some point, we have to move. But a lot of individuals get stuck in an information stage, just collecting information, researching. And at some point, we have to move towards application and implementation. Okay. So if you've ever said, I'm not ready, or I just need more time, this is for you. Because what is it costing you? Another way that it could be costing you is, maybe you're playing small and maybe you're charging less. And this was the biggest lesson for me. Hey, I see you tuned in. This was one of the biggest lessons for me, like at the beginning of this year, when God like literally had to sit me down and say, Lanisha, Lanisha, you are in a form of self-sabotage, because your heart to serve and your heart to give, this is still a business. It's still a business. And at the end of the day, I had to learn the balance between over serving but undercharging. And it's like, no, I can still over deliver. I can still do all the things, but the one thing I cannot do is undercharge. Okay. And not charge less. Or maybe you're settling for less. Or maybe you're not showing up fully. And again, that could be because you could be fearing that maybe it won't work. Can it work? Will it work? And I'm gonna tell you something that a lot of my mentors have told me over the past is, nothing works but the work. Okay. So if you're not seeing results, if you're not seeing the outcome or the desired outcome, ask yourself, are you actually putting in the work? And are you putting it in at 100%? Or are you only doing 50% or giving 50% effort? Okay. And then the next cost is the cost of not investing. Okay. So I made a post about this. I think I did it on my Instagram. I did it on my Instagram and TikTok. But what I was basically talking about in my reel, as it pertains to scared money don't make no money, is that a lot of times in these internet streets, tell me if y'all have ever seen somebody say this, or tell me if it's you. So many people will be like, oh, Lanisha, I want to make money, but I don't want to spend any money to do it. Or especially when it comes to the travel business, like people will want to start the business, but then they don't want to pay anything. And it's like, you can tell me what business that you can start and it doesn't require any sort of investment. It's going to cost you time, money, energy. You're going to have to invest something. So to think that you could start something with not having to give or contribute anything is a different conversation that we have to have, because that is a different form of delusion that we have to really work through. Because I don't know what you thought. Like, you go to a job every day. You go to a job and you show up, and guess what? There's costs to run that business. There's literally costs to run that business. And so why some individuals, hey Mia, so why some individuals think that they can start something without having to put anything in, it doesn't make sense in my mind. And the craziest part, especially like if y'all only knew like how much money I've had to invest in my coaching business, and then I've only had to invest $200 in my travel business to get started. It's like, what? I don't have to think about $200. I literally eat $200. Ask me how much I've spent on DoorDash in the last month, and I can guarantee. Well, it's probably not over 200 because your girl is working. She's working because when November comes around for my birthday, we got to get it together. We're getting it together. But if you would have asked me what my DoorDash budget was like 2 months ago, it was more than $200. I can tell you that. Okay. So, or my Amazon Prime, or I just do delivery, everything. Okay. I pay for convenience. But for the people that say that they don't have $200 to start the travel business and then go and spend $2,000 on frivolous stuff, is wild to me. So as I wrap this up, y'all know I got some questions, okay? What would the wealthy version of you do? That's what I want you to ask yourself. And I want you to reflect on that. What would the wealthy version of me do? And if the wealthy version of you, the actions that the wealthy version of you do not match the actions that you're taking now, we need to do some self-reflections. We need to see what we need to edit out and what we need to add in order to reach the version that we so-called say that we want to reach, right? So understand, when it comes to Wisdom and Wealth Wednesday, wisdom is about obedience, right? But it's about strategy. We have to know what we're doing. But wealth is not built in comfort. It's not built through comfortable. It's going to be uncomfortable at times. It is. But if you take the simple, consistent actions over time, you will reap the reward. Okay? So I don't want to say scared money don't make no money. We're going to say faith-filled money, purpose-driven money multiplies. And that's the purpose. It's supposed to multiply. I posted this on Sunday because we were talking about it at service. God is a God of multiplication. Okay? So if you're not multiplying in your endeavors, if that money is not multiplying, we have to look at what we're doing. We have to look at what we're doing, because the cost of living, the different prices for things, the prices are going up. But if that money is not increasing to match it, let's have a conversation. I want you to slide over into those DMs. Let's have an honest conversation and say, Lanisha, I need to work on my plan. I need strategy, or I need structure. Because like I said, some people know what they should be doing. They just don't have the structure. They don't have the discipline yet. So that's what we build up in my programs that I work with my clients with. Okay. And know this, it's okay to be nervous, but it's not okay to be neutral. You have to move forward. You have to take a step. And I was literally in a conversation yesterday, and my client was talking about how they just, really started to realize how much they had been overlooking and minimizing their value, their certifications, and everything that they bring. And so now they're getting to the point where they've positioned themselves to say, no, I can command a higher dollar than what that employer was going to pay me. And I can build my own schedule and what I want to do and when I want to show up. So I love it here, y'all. This is the fly life. This is what the fly life is all about. It is a life of intention. It is a life of impact, and it is a life of fulfillment. So if you enjoyed this conversation, there's a couple of things I want you to do. Number one, tag somebody that you think needs to hear this message, okay? Like it, share it, subscribe, do all the things, because I know this goes out on multiple platforms. But like it, comment, tag somebody that you know that needs to hear this conversation, okay? And if it's you, I want you to do take a bolder step, and I want you to go ahead and send me a message and say, I'm ready, Lanisha, so that we can start having that honest conversation. And so before this week ends, I'm going to challenge you, because what type of coach would I be if I didn't challenge you? If I didn't give you a challenge, okay? I want you to do one thing that's going to cost you time, energy, or money, but it's going to stretch your faith, but it's going to get you a step closer to the life that you say that you want to live, okay? We don't spend money just to spend money. It has to make sense. One of my favorite things that Myron Golden always says is, find out what the rich and the wealthy do and do that. Okay. So I want you to look at what your goals are. I want you to look at what you want to accomplish by the end of this year. And I want you to take a step towards that. And I want you to invest something, time, money, attention, whatever it is. I want you to invest it this week. Okay. So drop a comment. What are you going to work on this week? Drop a comment, because I'm going to hold you accountable. I'm the accountability partner that you didn't know that you needed, but now you have. And I'm going to stick beside you because we have work to do. All right. And the last question I have for you to reflect on, and we're going to come back on Fly Day and we're going to talk about this thing, is what has fear cost you in the last 12 months? And not only what it has cost you, who else could be negatively impacted by you not showing up? That's a deep question, okay? But again, if you like this conversation, make sure that you are following me. Make sure that you like, subscribe, you share. Join me each and every Wednesday on Wisdom and Wealth Wednesday as we talk about other topics that are related to how to not only obtain wealth, but what are we doing to maintain it and sustain it for future generations. I will see y'all next time on Wisdom and Wealth Wednesday. Have an awesome and amazing day.